As Johnny and I embarked on our long-awaited road trip through the eerie back roads of an unfamiliar countryside, little did we know that we were about to experience a nightmarish journey beyond our wildest imagination. The moon hung low in the night sky, casting long shadows that seemed to dance and weave through the dense trees that lined the narrow road. It was a scene straight out of a horror movie, and I couldn't help but feel a shiver run down my spine. Johnny, always the thrill seeker, chuckled and turned up the volume on the car radio, the mellow tunes doing little to ease my growing unease. As we continued our drive, the road stretched out before us, illuminated only by our car's headlights. The silence was deafening, broken only by the occasional rustling of leaves in the wind. It was then that I caught a glimpse of something in the distance, a flicker of movement that seemed out of place in the stillness of the night. "Johnny, did you see that?" I asked, my voice trembling. He squinted into the darkness ahead. "See what, Tom?" But before I could respond, a figure emerged from the shadows, stepping onto the road. It was a man, tall and covered in hair from head to toe, like a monstrous creature from folklore. My heart pounded in my chest as Johnny slammed on the brakes, our car screeching to a halt just a few feet away from the hairy stranger. Panic surged through us as we realized that the road ahead had come to a sudden and treacherous end. Before us lay a sheer cliff that dropped into an abyss of darkness. The front tires of our car teetered dangerously close to the edge, threatening to send us plummeting into the unknown. With trembling hands, Johnny shifted the gear into reverse, desperately attempting to maneuver the car away from the precipice. But as he turned to look back through the rearview mirror, horror struck our hearts once more. A massive wall of hill had risen behind us, trapping us in an eerie and claustrophobic canyon. The hairy man, his eyes filled with madness, had now made his way to the front of our car. He pounded on the windshield, his fists leaving ominous smudges on the glass. His voice, a guttural growl, demanded that we open the car door. "We can't," I stammered, paralyzed by fear. As if possessed, the hairy man unleashed a frenzied assault on the car's front window, his relentless blows sending cracked spider webbing across the glass. Panic surged through us, and just as the window threatened to shatter, a wave of darkness washed over us. Next thing I knew, Johnny and I were waking up to the harsh light of day, our car surrounded by a crowd of curious onlookers and police officers. We stumbled out of the car, disoriented and shaken. The events of the previous night felt like a surreal nightmare, and we struggled to find the words to explain what had happened. The police questioned us, but our story sounded too bizarre to be believed. They inspected our car, finding the shattered windshield and the dent in the front. The officers exchanged uneasy glances, and it was clear that they had no explanation for the strange occurrences that had befallen us. As we were finally allowed to leave, we cast one last terrified glance at the road that had nearly been our demise. It seemed ordinary now, just a winding path through the countryside. But we knew the truth, that we had narrowly escaped a nightmarish fate, one that still haunted our dreams to this day. The mysterious hairy man and the night of horrors on that desolate road would forever be etched into our memories, a chilling reminder of the inexplicable terrors that lurk in the darkest corners of the world.